Hi everybody, this is Sarah from Serenity. Today's video is the April forecast for our friends Sagittarius. This is for Sagittarius sun, moon, and rising sign. April is going to be a very interesting month for you, and while this reading is intended for Sagittarius natives, there are thousands and thousands of you out there, and you are all at different points in your life. So obviously this will not resonate with everyone. And if it doesn't resonate with you, no worries, pass it on by, and I do hope you find what you're looking for. Okay, Sag, so much has happened lately, and you're starting to feel really restless and ready for a change. April is going to be a month where you tap into your creative spirit, you see projects come forward, you look at your finances, you review your romance and your friendship. So a lot is happening for you. Even though you're going to be quarantined, you're still going to be really busy. Your mind is on adventure as we begin the month in quarantine. Around the 4th of the month, you're going to be pushed to define what actual security means for you. What does it look like? What does it consist of? And how do you get it in your life? And what do you do also when it's challenged? What makes you feel secure? What allows you to sleep well at night? This is happening because your ruling planet, Jupiter, will make a very rare conjunction with Pluto. Both are in Capricorn, activating your second house of work and finances. And even in the midst of all of this, we can expect a breakthrough to come forward. And I'm laughing because this highlights really how lucky Sagittarius is. So why do you ever worry? You are so lucky. Things generally always fall in your direction. There is an opportunity that you've been kind of pushing for, that you've been hoping for. It's taken over 6 months. Nothing's really happened. Well, guess what? Chances are good, even though you're going to have this revelation of what security really feels like. During this time, you're probably going to be presented with this opportunity. On the downside, it won't be the way you expected it to be. On the positive side, it will work and it will probably really pay off well. So be on the lookout for that. Jupiter and Pluto only connect every 13 years, and they actually will meet 3 times in 2020. We've got the next one on June 30th and then the last one on November the 12th. Yeah, the energy will highlight what needs to be fixed and help you ask those deeper questions, making for a great time to do some shadow work around security, finances, stability, and those type of issues in your life. Following on the heels of that, we have the super pink moon, and this is the biggest super moon of 2020, and it's going to be in Libra. Libra highlights your 11th house, called the house of friends, and it rules, of course, friends, groups, and any type of organization. So it too will be highlighting collaboration and things like that. So if anything, like I say, you've really been working on for about the last year and a half, will probably come under the microscope. If you've been trying to say, push your friend into authoring a book with you or doing an event with you, going on a massive vacation together, probably during this time of the full moon, you'll be able to work something out. And of course, it's going to be different because quarantine, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to work and maybe even be better than what you suspected. So like I say, it's going to come forward. Chances are very good it's going to be profitable for you and everyone who collaborates with you. It just may not work in the way that you envisioned it in the beginning. And the same can be said for some sort of adventure you want to go on that's not business oriented. It will come together, but just not in the way that you had it planned, but that's okay. Be flexible because it's going to be fun and it's going to be rewarding for everyone that's involved. First 2 weeks of the month are a very good time for business ventures. If you're looking to boost sales, to launch a new product, to start a new avenue maybe with your business, the first 2 weeks will be the best time. The supermoon, like I say, will highlight relationships, and relationships of all kind: personal, business, and of course romantic. Any kind of relationship that's really reached its expiration date may become apparent during this time, during the time of the full moon, because and you kind of know it too, that you've been drifting apart. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you burn the bridge, but maybe take a step back further and look and see if you're moving in the same direction. Around the 20th, you'll feel the need to clean up your diet and fully commit to that exercise routine, and it will become much easier. Most of the month will be about self-medicating with food, with work projects, TV, with distractions. But that's going to shift around the 20th, where you start really understanding that things are shifting, and not just the quarantine causing things to shift, but your life is shifting. And it's maybe feels like it's kind of gotten off track, and that's okay. This is a perfect time to get back on schedule. Our married Sagittarius friends will also find by the end of the month that their romantic relationships could be a bit stuffy. And you've been spending a lot of time locked in the house with your partner, and this is kind of giving you a better idea of how the relationship is going, and maybe it's time to make some changes. I would say definitely discuss the changes. Don't just make a huge talk it through and see if you can't come to some kind of agreement about the changes that need to be made. Single Sag, you've been zooming and flirting the month away. You've been having a good time meeting and interacting with new people online, and this has given you a clearer idea of what you want. The one caveat in this though is don't let nostalgia cloud your thinking, because as you are going through the month, you are missing people from your past, and that's completely normal. But we all have a tendency to remember things a little different than they were, and if that other partner was really the one, why aren't you together now? Don't let nostalgia cause you to call up that ex and maybe rekindle a flame, unless you're ready to go back to those type of lessons, because they really haven't changed all that much. So yeah, there's a lot going on. We have everything from petty squabbles with spouses, we have big collaborations in the works, we have big money changes happening for you, sitting in your jammies in the living room. So this is really good. Like I say, we're gonna pretty much go through the gambit of stuff, Sagittarius. You know, you don't ever do anything halfway. Around the end of the month, say the 20th, 21st, you kind of see things a little bit differently. But there's a little bit of anxiousness as we are ending the month, because it's like, is this going to be another month of this? And I can pretty much tell you now, yes, it will be. You may feel overwhelmed by this just because the relationships are giving you a little bit of trouble. And then you've got this big, collaboration coming up, and there's things you want to do. The weather is clearing up. You want to go and do and explore, and another month of this. But that's okay. Don't let yourself become overwhelmed. It's really important to take time for self. You're still working, you're still trying to do and be everything. You're just doing it in the house. So really schedule some downtime. And yeah, you're still doing all the necessary things that need to happen. You're just doing it from command central instead of being out there. So this can definitely leave you feeling overwhelmed and anxious. So schedule downtime, take care of yourself, and know that this too shall pass. Yeah, on the 25th, we have Pluto beginning its annual 5-month retrograde. And it will be back swimming through Capricorn, and this is your second house of work and money until the 4th of October. So during this time, you will probably feel fearful for your finances, and this is completely normal. It's that Pluto energy. Generally, it doesn't mean that you're going to lose money. It just means you're going to be more aware of your finances. So at this time, it's like taking a microscope and looking at the stuff, and you may be going, what can I do, and what did I do wrong, and how did I get here? And it's okay. This too shall pass. Your sign is one of the luckiest signs of the zodiac, and you're very good with money, and you're very good with manifesting money. So take this as an opportunity to kind of dig into the shadow side of money and what it means to you. Is it tied to security? Is it for fun? Is it hard to get? Is it something that you should stress about? So yeah, it's a lot. It's a whole lot happening. And even though it's all going to be happening in your living room. So yeah, and I know that you'll make it through this quite easily. Like I say, there's just going to be a few little ups and downs. It's mostly the astrology highlighting things that need work. And none of this will surprise you. You know what needs work, but you've just kind of been distracted. Now with this quarantine and the no travel, it's the time to kind of address these things. Don't make any big decisions though, as I said. Try and talk things through. That was a lot. Let's pull 2 cards now from the Doreen Virtue Ascended Master deck and see if there's any other lessons that you'll have during this time. Okay, let me shuffle just really quickly. Hmm. Hmm. Very nice and very, very much on point, don't you think? So we have two Egyptian cards too showing up, which is worth noting. Isis, balance your career and home life, and Horus, you are seeing the situation accurately. So that pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? You have a pretty good idea of what's going on, but you may not actually want to believe it, especially considering right now everything is, like I say, going to be kind of under the microscope for you. This is a time of reflection. This is a time of turning inward. So maybe you have a gut feeling about how things are going to turn out or what somebody's actually up to, but you're trying to see the best in people or ignore it because it's not convenient. It's not what you want to happen. But yet there's that nagging intuition saying something's just not right. The situation is not right. Well, this is your confirmation. You are seeing the situation accurately and clearly, even though it may not be what you want to see. So with that bit of knowledge, it becomes actually easier to do a long-term plan. Like I say, it may not be comfortable and it may not be what you want to hear, but it's better to have the facts than to ignore them. Don't you agree? Maybe take this time to really examine that situation and maybe talk to that other person and say, is this really what's going on? And give them a chance to tell their side of the story. And then from there, either work on mending fences or changing the situation. Sagittarius has a really strong intuitive power. The problem is, though, sometimes you overthink things. That will be one of the big lessons for you in April. And then the second card, balance your career and home life, is really interesting too, because on the one hand, you're in lockdown and quarantine, so your home life and your career are kind of like overlapping each other right now. Are you finding it difficult working from home, especially if you're not alone, if you have family or a roommate home? So this is about setting some clear boundaries, personal space, and respect, as well as working out a family or a cohabitational routine among everyone involved. These types of lessons sound really easy on paper, but are very hard to enact. So this lesson centers around the importance of boundaries and respect, ensuring that things get done in a timely manner, ensuring that people get the amount of time that they need on equipment, as well as free time or downtime too to have fun. So it's a good lesson. It can be very trying. I would suggest you have a meeting, you talk about what needs to be done and ways to accomplish this that works for the entire group of people. Beware the urge to procrastinate. Get things done in a timely manner so that you can get them off your plate and you can move forward. So yeah, there's a lot happening for you in April, even though it doesn't seem likely because you are going to be quarantined. But yet, look, this is a great time to turn inward. This is a great time to do shadow work or some sort of personal healing. This is a time to look at your finances and your whole relationship with money. This is a time to get to the root cause of maybe relationship problems, whether that is friendships or partners. And this is also going to be a very profitable time for work projects. So you're going to have an action-packed month, even though it's not per se what you want. You'd much rather be traveling, having adventures rather than stuck in the living room. But that's okay. You can make the best of this and you can come out really at the end of April a lot clearer on what you want and with more money in your pocket too. So this is going to be overall a good month for you. It's going to be an interesting month in some of the lessons, but you can handle it. You can, and none of this is really surprising either. You knew these things were brewing in the background, so now it's time to address them. Okay, I hope you found this little mini reading helpful. As always, if you would like your own personal reading, you can find me at Serenity, and we are having specials every month. I'll put a link to that here and in the description box below. Once again, guys, thank you so much for being a part of the Serenity family. I really appreciate it. Be sure to like and share this video if it resonates with you. Stay tuned for the next video. Reiki blessings. Bye-bye.